Welcome to Faith Reloaded. I'm Rev Kev, and I'm here to stir your faith, sharpen your focus, and fuel your flame. Take a breath, open your heart, let's lock in. This is Faith Reloaded. Well, welcome to day 3 of our Still Standing series. Joy in the ring, faith in the fight, victory won. We've talked about why you're getting hit. We've talked about holy stubbornness and how not to quit. But let's be real. Some of you are probably saying, man, I hear you, Rev, but I'm still here. I haven't quit, but I'm not joyful. I'm just functioning. Today we're going to talk about joy, real joy. The kind that can exist even when it looks like you lost the last round. I want to title this one, Laughing with a Black Eye, Joy That Makes No Sense. And you know, I'm an odd kind of person. But you know, I was thinking about the title, joy, laughing with a black eye, joy that makes no sense. So I thought it was appropriate to wear my Matt Ryan Atlanta Falcons Super Bowl 51 jersey that I actually had this jersey on during the game. And man, was I laughing during the first half and excited. And then here came the black eye in the second half. Tom Brady and crew totally annihilated us in the second half. How does that apply? Because I got a black eye for the rest of my life as a Falcons fan for that one loss. But I'm still a fan, and I still have joy being a fan. So I thought it was appropriate to wear this jersey today. And for the clear the record, I love Matty Ice. I think he was great. I think he should have got a lot more props than he did. But let's get back to the topic. First, let's clear something up. Joy is not denial. Joy is not you walking around like my rent is 3 months late. My car is making that demon noise. And the doctor looked at my chart, shaked his head, and started frowning. But I'm blessed and highly favored. That's not joy. That's pretending. Now, I know we say blessed and highly favored to a lot of this stuff. It's our response for things at World Harvest Worship Center. But that doesn't mean, joy doesn't mean you never cry. Jesus himself wept at a graveside. Jesus himself wept over Jerusalem. So if you're trying to be tougher than Jesus, we just found your first problem. Psalm 30 verse 5 says, weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. See, God never promised you no night. He just promised you that night doesn't get the final word. Joy is scheduled. Morning is on God's calendar for you. And joy has to be, it's an inner confidence. Let me give you a simple definition. Joy is a deep, steady confidence that God is still God, He is still good, and He's still working, even when our feelings don't agree. Joy is not always loud. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes joy is that little something in you that says, I don't know how, but this is not how my story ends. Like there's that, I've told that story before about a poster I had in one of the challenging periods of my life long time ago. And I had this poster of Jesus, and he had his hand out, and he had the world in his hand. And the phrase said, I don't know what my future holds, but I know who holds my future. So we don't know. You must tell yourself, I don't know how, but I know this is not how my story ends. Habakkuk 3:17 through 18, it paints this picture, and this is paraphrased. It says, if the fig tree doesn't blossom, if there are no grapes on the vine, if the fields yield no food, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. Here's a translation of that. Here's the broken down, simple truth about that. Even when my circumstances are empty, my praise doesn't have to be. That's joy that makes no sense. When you've got absolutely no reason to have joy, but you can still be like, I don't know how, but this is not how my story ends. I don't have a single thing, but yet I am going to praise the Lord. Remember, the joy of the Lord is your strength. So not because you're ignoring reality. Reality exists. But because you're choosing to look through it. You're looking past the reality to the joy. Fighting for joy in the ring. Think about a boxer in the ring. Eyes are swollen, lip busted, breathing heavy. And right there, when I said the eye swollen, I saw Rocky in Rocky 1 when he told him to cut his eye open so he could see. There was nothing going to stop Rocky from continuing that fight. Eyes swollen, lip busted, breathing heavy. Now imagine, between rounds, while he's bleeding, he cracks a smile and says, I'm still here. That's how we got to be. That's what spiritual joy looks like sometimes. It's not you dancing down the aisle every Sunday. It's you waking up another day, looking at the same battle and quietly saying, I'm still standing and God is still with me. I'm still standing and God is still with me. You see, the enemy knows if he can drain your joy, he can drain your strength. If he can drain your strength, he can talk you into quitting. That's what his game plan is, to talk you into quitting. That's why Nehemiah 8:10 says, the joy of the Lord is your strength. Joy is not a bonus feeling. It's a weapon. It's your spiritual stamina, or chutzpah, whatever word you use for stamina. It's your spiritual stamina. It's your spiritual strength to keep pressing on to the high calling. It's your spiritual strength to finish the race. So how do you actually fight for joy when life feels heavy? Let me give you one very simple practice for today. At some point today, I want you to find one small thing you can enjoy with God on purpose, intentionally. Find some time to enjoy one small thing with God. Just one. Maybe it's a quiet cup of coffee where you actually slow down. Maybe it's just a short walk outside. Maybe it's 5 minutes of worship music in your car. If you're like me, that won't work because that's the only kind of music I play in my car. But maybe it would be separated, sit down and say, you know what, this is 5 minutes. I'm just going to chill and spend time with you, God. Without driving, without weaving through traffic. Maybe it's laughing with your kids or a friend. Maybe it's sitting still with no phone, just breathing. And while you're in that moment, I want you to whisper, Lord, thank you for this small joy. Use it to strengthen me on the inside. That might feel simple, even silly, but it's not. You are telling your soul, we still have reasons to rejoice. Remember, I'm a believer that the soul is your mind, your will, and your emotions. That we are spirit beings that live in a body and possess a soul. So you're telling your soul, we still have reasons to rejoice. You're getting it into your mind that my whole life is not pain. God is still giving me glimpses of goodness. And that's how you start fighting for joy in real time. Today, we talked about joy not as a fake mask, but as an inner confidence that God is still working, even when you got a black eye in the spirit. Tomorrow, we're going to go even deeper into where that kind of strength gets refilled. Day 4 is called Locker Room Talks with God, where fighters get their strength back. If you've ever struggled to be real with God in prayer, if you've ever felt like your secret place is dry or awkward, you do not want to miss tomorrow. We're getting back to where your strength is renewed. This is Rev Kev, and I want to thank you for taking the time to hang out with me today on the Faith Reloaded podcast. If this episode blessed you, take a moment to share it with someone who needs encouragement. And please, don't forget to subscribe, to rate, and thank you for those who've been leaving reviews and comments. I appreciate them. I will promise to try to respond to them all. And make sure you share this podcast. Not just this one, but the podcast channel, so more people can find it. You can get more resources, messages, and updates at www.hwcfla.org and www.votm.org. Download the Voice of Truth Ministries, Kevin C. Benton Ministries app, and the World Harvest Worship Center app, and they are both available in both of the app stores. Everything is there to help you walk this thing out day by day with Jesus. Until next time, remember, you're not alone. God is with you, and He is not finished with your story. Stay ready. Stay steady, locked in on Jesus, and keep your faith reloaded.